Today, we will be discussing the sweetness of wine. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, John. Good to chat.
So go on. Tell me, Susan, what are the different sweetness of wine terms and what do they mean?
It is a bit confusing, isn't it? Basically, people like to buy dry, but drink sweet.
I see.
You see, medium and medium sweet wines are for grandmothers. Not very fashionable. A winemaker just couldn't put these terms on the wine label and expect to sell the wine.
So, are these terms defined? Or do wine merchants just make them up?
Well, a bit of both. The terms dry, etc. are strictly defined by the EU, and most other countries have adopted these terms.
Okay then, so what does dry officially mean?
Aha. That is a bit of a tricky question. Dry means something different for a still wine and a sparkling wine.
Okay, for a still wine.
Well, dry wine can have up to 4 grams per litre of residual sugar.
But doesn't acidity make a difference to the feeling of sweetness?
Quite right. Yes, acidity does have to be taken into account. So if the wine contains significant acidity, then yes, there can be up to 9 grams per litre of residual sugar.
How much acidity?
Yes, that is specified. If total acidity, expressed as grams of tartaric acid per litre, is not more than 2 grams below the residual sugar content, then the higher band kicks in.
I see.
So if the wine has 7 grams per litre of acidity and the sugar is 9 grams per litre, then even though it is more than 4 grams per litre of sugar, it is defined as a dry wine.
Got it. So a wine with 5 grams per litre of sugar and 2 grams per litre of acidity. That is a difference of 3. So that cannot be a dry wine.
Correct.
I'm getting there. So a wine with 7 grams per litre of sugar and 5 grams per litre of acidity. We've got a difference of 2 here, and 7 is less than the limit of 9, so that makes this a dry wine.
Correct.
And as you said, a wine with 9 grams of sugar per litre and the acidity is 7, then that is dry. But if the acidity is a bit less at 6, then that can't be dry. I'm getting it.
You've got it. And remember that in Spanish it is seco. In Italian, secco. In German it's trocken. And in French, sec.
Excellent. Now, how about more than 9 grams per litre? With suitable acidity, of course. Or more than 4 grams without that acidity?
That becomes medium dry.
Okay, so what are the rules?
It is medium dry if its sugar content exceeds the maximum set for dry, but not exceeding 12 grams per litre.
Thanks. Does acidity come into it again?
Absolutely. The maximum with suitable acidity is 18 grams per litre, provided that the total acidity is not more than 10 grams per litre below the residual sugar content.
Gosh, 10 grams difference. Okay, so if the wine has 18 grams per litre of sugar, and the acidity is 8 or 9 grams per litre, so within 10 grams, then that is classified as medium dry.
Correct.
But if it has 18 grams per litre of sugar, and only 7 grams per litre of acidity, more than 10 grams difference, then it is legally sweeter than medium dry.
Correct again.
So, what are the non-English terms for medium dry?
In Spanish, semi-seco. In Italian, abbacato. In German, halbtrocken. In French, demi-sec.
Okay, now with more sugar than 18 grams per litre.
That would be medium. Or even medium sweet. Legally they are the same.
Got it.
So if its sugar content is higher than the maximum set at 4, medium dry, but not more than 45 grams per litre, then it is medium.
Thanks. Any acidity adjustment?
No, not anymore. Beyond medium dry, there is no acidity adjustment.
Okay, so in other languages?
Spanish semidulce, Italian amabile, German lieblich, and in French moelleux.
Okay, now more than 45 grams per litre. What is that called?
If the wine's sugar content is at least 45 grams per litre, then it is in the final bracket. Again with no acidity adjustment. This is a sweet wine.
Thanks. So I imagine the Spanishes, do they?
Yes. If the wine has at least 45 grams per litre of sugar, then in Spanish, dulce. In Italian, dolce. In German, süß. And in French it is doux.
So that's clear. Dry is up to 4 grams of sugar. Except if suitable acidity, then up to 9 grams of sugar per litre.
Yes.
And medium dry up to 12, or up to 18 if acidity is high enough.
Yes.
Then medium if sugar is up to 45, and more than 45 it is sweet. Quite clear.
Good.
Ah, but in supermarket wines, I have also seen numbers from 1 to 9 to denote sweetness.
Yes, I have seen them too. That is basically because people like to buy dry, but drink sweet.
Yes, I see.
With medium dry and medium on the label, the wines just won't be sold. As I said, medium dry is for grannies.
So are the 1 to 9 numbers defined?
No.
Not defined at all.
That's right. Not defined at all. The numbers are based on the subjective judgment of the wine buyer of that wine, based on sweetness, acidity, aroma and mouthfeel.
I see that.
And a wine buyer of wines from a different country, but in the same supermarket, might assign a different sweetness number to a similar wine.
Gosh. So a wine buyer of similar wines in another supermarket might assign a different number.
Yes. But don't look so shocked. It is just like dress sizes. A size 14 in one shop can be a 12 in a second shop. Or a 16 in a third shop. Easy peasy.
What?
Yes. But you are a man. And you do not understand dress sizes. Back to wine, I think.
But why don't they use the EU-defined terms?
Well, as I said, if they label their wines medium, or even medium dry, they just won't sell.
Sorry. You did point that out. Actually, I have also recently seen Alsace and German wines with 1 to 9 numbers for sweetness.
These numbers are not defined either. They are based on the individual winemaker's judgment of sweetness, acidity, mouthfeel, aroma, and other factors perhaps.
Now I have also seen the term, very dry, on shelves. That is not defined, is it?
No. Very dry is not defined. And neither is off dry. And not even rather dry. Nor quite dry. Or not too dry. These terms are subjective.
Well, that's covered it then. I think wine producers and merchants should use the EU definitions.
Yes. I agree. Or come up with an agreed formula based on sugar, acidity and maybe pH.
Agreed.
Or why not just quote both, the residual sugar and the acidity, on the label? That won't take up a lot of room.
Yes.
And it would avoid having to give wine the medium kiss of death.
That makes sense. So thanks very much, Susan. That was the sweetness of wine. For still wines.
My pleasure, John.